chilling right now, actually. Just doing more um, ETF stuff. So broad market S&P 500 stuff. So that's why I'm getting in so I can get some of this Tesla while it's shooting up.
Man, see, and I saw so much money made last week with not even just Tesla, Tesla, Nvidia, and I dumped some money in Tesla last week. So I was when it was at 212, it was
Okay.
like it's I was going back and forth with my mentor. He's like, yeah, I see it going to 250. So I dumped about 1,500 into it. I already had some, but I just dumped some more money into it. So I seen a profit. You know what I mean? I've seen it shoot up since then, but
Mm-hmm.
man, it's people. I seen one guy make $500,000 last week. I seen another woman. She just retired from teaching. She made 73,000 last week because they see when I bought the stock, they bought contracts. They option traded it, so
Mm-hmm.
that's like on 10x your money, 20x
Yeah.
your money, depending on So
Yeah.
so the little gains I seen in just buying the stock. Oh man, it's 10x, 20x on some of them, 50x on some of them. What they saw
Yeah.
last week, man. So I ain't rushing myself though. My day is gonna come where I can go in the market and pull out like that. But
Yep.
I'm that trade, man. I follow one guy. He hates trading. He's just a long term stock investor, but he's more just an investor. So I am that too. But he talking about trading is gambling and don't trade. Man, you crazy. I ain't gonna sit back. I ain't gonna sit back. It's too much money too fast. And I get it. You are risking a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But not really. When you put your stop losses right, you do certain things right, you're gonna be all right. So,
Yeah.
but like I said, when it comes to investing, when it comes to all this, it's different strokes for different folks. It's not a one thing is right. It's about what suits you best. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Because
Yep.
it's like it's people that can get rich on all of it. So no
Yep.
matter you can find somebody talking bad about all of it, but you can find somebody that got rich off all of it. So it's about you, your demeanor, your tolerance for
Yep.
volatility. So it's all about you. So I hate when people try to act like my way is the only way. No, it's a
Yeah.
lot of different ways, but what it really matches up to who you are as an investor, a person, and what's your threshold. Can you take it being volatile shooting up, but when it's volatile, it can shoot down too. Can you take that? You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's what I do. And then I knew it was gonna blast off this week, and I'm not doing no trades this week because it's the Super Bowl of stocks this week. It's earnings week, right? So those premiums be like, man, it's kind of like having a Super Bowl in your city. That soda that was $2 gonna be $5 for the week of the Super Bowl, and so
Mm-hmm.
that's exactly what those option contracts are. They're outrageously priced this week because it's a lot of it's a lot of money to win on the table if you're willing to pull up more money. So
Yep.
yeah, so that's why I was talking about earnings week because I always heard about it, but I never really paid attention to it the way I pay attention to it now.
Mm-hmm.
Earning week don't mean because you can get a great earnings and say you made some money and your stock will still crash because of this and that. So it don't
Yep.
automatically mean that everything's gonna just be in the green because your budget or your finances in the green. So it's different elements. So when
Yep.
you hear earnings week, does that mean anything to you? Does that have anything to do with your strategy, or since you're just a long term holder, that really don't matter?
For long term stuff, it don't matter.
Yeah.
But for the trading, when I'm actually in it trading, it does matter because, like you already said, for good earnings, it could shoot up, it could shoot down, depending on other factors. So only when I'm trading actively like that do I look at earnings. If not, then it really don't affect me. So for instance, Ford, right? Ford released their earnings this week, and I'm a long time holder in Ford, and they beat their earnings expectation by 4%, but they lost $1 billion on their EV sales, so their stock dropped after the market closed. So they were up before the market when they was like, "Oh yeah, we beat earnings," and then after you read the rest of it, where they lost money on the EV part, then it dropped. So once again, I'm a long time holder in that, so that doesn't affect me. I've been with it ups and downs, so I'm not tripping about that. But if I was trading it, that would be something I would have looked at. And usually, if I'm trading something like that, I like to trade something that where the news happens before the market opens. That way, I can get in pre-market. if it's good or bad either way, and play whichever side of it. If I wait to aftermarket, now I'm at a disadvantage because I can still do aftermarket trading and stuff like that. But if I'm up, I might be off doing something else, and something else happens.
Yeah.
So, but before the market, that's when I'm into it. But after the market, I'm usually with the family and all that type of stuff. So I'll miss out on stuff. So if I'm trading, I definitely want to trade something that's happening before the market opens. This posting their earnings and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's crazy because what I was watching last night is some people do their earnings before the market open, during the day, after the
Yep.
market closed. Like, so
Yep.
it's not no one specific time. Every company, every business releases it as, I guess, whenever they want to or whatever
Yep.
their time schedule is.
Yep.
That's crazy. So what, like, so long term, like and that's why they say we all should be some form of long term holders anyway. Even if you're a trader, whatever you're doing, you should have a piece of your strategy should be long term. I
Yep.
believe,
Yep.
once again, I believe. So what you're saying is, if you're when you the things that you only earnings and different things like that is only when more of the I'm gonna buy and sell quicker and faster, get in and out. Now, long term, it's just another day at the office. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, because it's a stock, it's gonna go up, it's gonna go down. So if I'm holding it for the long haul, I'm not worried about the little dips and everything. If I was worried about that, I would sell every time I lose some money, and I would continue to lose money. I would never make money.
yeah.
So I can't let that affect the overall strategy when it comes to long term investing.
What would you? So over how many years would you say you've been in the market? I mean, I know like we've been because I've been playing with it for years. I would only say I've been serious in it for maybe not even a year now, but I've been playing in it for like 4 or 5 years. So how long would you say you've been serious in it?
I've been in it for 19 years. That's how long I've actively had money in the market. 19
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
Taking it serious, it's probably been like 5 or 6 years where I really like looked into it and
broke it down.
where my money was going and how it's working and stuff like that. So before that, it was just throwing it into an ETF, like a 401k retirement account, and just letting them do it. Not knowing where it's at. Like, hey, just don't lose me money. That's all I.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
but not knowing what it was doing. So after years, and then I would look in there, and it's not a whole lot, and I'm like, this is
yeah.
garbage. Like
Yeah,
something ain't working.
I can manage this better. I
Yeah,
can manage this
I'm
better.
like something ain't right here. I'm like they talk on the news. Oh, after 2008, people lost 40%, but since then it's up 300%, 400%. And I'm looking at my account like this don't look like 300 or 400
Yeah,
percent.
yeah, yeah,
So I'm like, what's going on? So I started looking into that and figuring it out. And man, ever since I've been in it and doing it myself, like I've at least, so like I said, about 6 years, I've more than doubled my money in 6 years for sure. Like from where I was to where I'm at now, I've more than doubled my money. And that's just in that one account that I was talking about. That's not even in the other stuff that I'm doing, and then the stuff with the kids, and we got our family accounts and different stuff like that. So yeah, man, when I started doing it for real, and seeing where the money goes and follow how it goes and really learning this stuff, I start blowing it out the water for real.
yeah. And that's one of my when I talk to people, because especially when we're taught to get jobs and on jobs, we just let them handle it. 401k, I holler at you in 25, 30 years, and I hope something's in there. We don't even really
Yep.
keep up with it. We just know that something's supposed to be in there when we retire.
Yep.
But I've been saying for like at least the last couple of years that it's okay to have a 401k, but you can do that yourself too. That's all
Yep.
they're doing. All they're doing is taking your money and they're putting it into stocks, they're putting it into real estate, they're putting it into insurance, they're putting it into some kind of investment.
Yep.
So, and if you got a job that's matching or anything like that, that's definitely a thing to do. But on the side of that, you can still do it yourself too and have your own type of account and build it outside of that. And that sounds like what you started doing too, because I'm pretty sure you still do something with them. You just know you have to
Yeah.
get more hands on with it in your own.
Yeah. Like I mean, if I had just not touched that account after 20, I've been putting since the day I started in the military. I've been putting money in that account, right? After 20 years, I probably wouldn't have had more than $100,000.
Yeah,
Like without a doubt, I probably wouldn't have had that much. But now since I've been doing it, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna have way
yeah,
more than that by the time
yeah,
it's over.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know. Like
That's the difference.
it's just crazy the difference of the knowledge portion of letting somebody else do it, and like because you're gonna tell them to be safe. You don't want nobody to lose your money, so they're gonna do safe as possible. But that's not gonna grow, So when you're like, all right, I need to take some risk. I'm young, I can afford this. It's money I'm already putting away. I'm not using it. It's not hurting me. So,
Yeah.
and then when you see them numbers start growing, you start getting excited. Boy.
Get super excited, man. You know what I'm saying? I was saying the other day, I was showing a guy one of the account, well, the newest account, not even the oldest account, but the newest account that I started in August. And I said, man, just to wake up and see your portfolio be at these numbers, even on the down days. I don't worry about down days because that's the day I really just buy more.
Yep.
But the average, like I said, and that's why I'm not gonna say you can't lose because you can lose in anything, but it's harder for you to lose if you're in it for the long haul. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? You're gonna go through those down periods, buy more, stack up on more, whatever. But if you're in it for the long haul, it's history has shown us that you're gonna be okay. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? Don't
Yep.
it don't predict nothing for the future, but if you're just gonna go off history, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people that all the time too. They're like, well, I can't pull it out when I want to. It's in the bank, or like it's in the bank or something. I'm like, well, what do you need it for?
Yeah,
Like, if you think you're gonna need some money, that's what your emergency fund is for. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
And, that,
this is
and
supposed to be your nest egg. This is supposed to be something that you can just blow once you retire, and on your grandkids and take trips and all that type of stuff. It's supposed to be fun money. People don't look at it like that though.
nah, because we were programmed to just, and that's why we don't invest because we don't want to invest because we want it under our bed or we want it in a bank account where I can go use this card right now for it. And
Yeah.
I mean, and you can, I mean, you're gonna get taxed and stuff, but you can pull out of your Robinhood and all that, and
Yep.
those still quick processes. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Yep.
like you have to wait days. I,
Yep.
I rather I rather be able to, if I did have to get money, I'd rather be able to go into my brokerage and I can pull it out and have that money today. If you got real estate or something, you can't just go sell a house and get no money that day.
Nope.
Even if you refinance your loans or something, that's gonna be a process through the bank and all this type of stuff. Like,
Yep.
so I mean, like, that's why I say I use my brokerages as bank accounts
Yep.
because, like you said, I don't need it, but if I did need it, I can get to some money. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, it's
Yep.
not like super hard. You have to go jump through no loops or no. You might get taxed. You're gonna get taxed a little bit because you're pulling out or whatever, but you can
Well,
get
that
money.
only depends on if you're up.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
always want to sell your losers first. So if you do that, then you're not even gonna get taxed.
yeah,
So you're
yeah.
not
You're
even,
right about that.
that
Yes.
offsets your capital gains tax for your winners.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. So
there's strategies, and people just they don't know. They just
yeah.
don't know.
and,
So
and you're scared of what you don't know. It
yep.
intimidates you. And
Yep.
like I had that conversation with my niece and my nephew last weekend because on the weekend we got a new spot where we set up to do the barbecue, and they
Mm-hmm.
come out and work. And the first weekend I gave him his $25 for helping me out, and I just told myself, I said, hold up, I'm not paying you no more, bro. Like, I'm gonna give you stock. You get stocks, bro. Like I said, you gonna hate me now, but when you get you 15, by the time you get 30, you gonna love me. So you're not
Mm-hmm.
getting cash to go blow and go do no dumb stuff with. Start telling me companies that you like. You got Nikes
Mm-hmm.
on, that could be our first stock. So I'm gonna just start buying him whatever he working, whatever hours he do. He's getting stocks. I might give him 5 cash to go get him some sodas, go get him
Yeah.
something. But
Yeah.
most of his money going to stocks, and that's just the standard that I'm setting. And if you
Yeah.
don't like that, you don't got to come work with us. But
Yeah.
we have to set standards to start raising the level because as long as we let the kids do it if they want to, or it's not, as long as we have that passive mindset, they're gonna have the passive mindset. It's not important to you, it's not important to me. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Yep.
that's what one thing I would tell my brother, like, we have to raise the standards because if we don't, he's not gonna he hear me talking about it, but if I don't press it and make it important in his life, now he's gonna be looking at his account because he know every week he get paid. What I get? I got a Nike share, or I ate at McDonald's, so I got a McDonald's. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I break it down to him on, you own a little small piece of this, and you let this grow, and then you 15, so by 25, 30, 35 is when you really gonna think what I'm doing now. Right now, you just
Yep.
probably think it's some kind of dumb stuff. You don't really
Yep.
got time, but and that's the standard we got to do. So I think I mean, of course, you are already doing it, and it's not. You don't have to force it because your kids see it in you. So
Yeah.
I have to force it because they're not my kids; they're my
Yeah.
nieces and nephews, and I'm not around them all the time. So
Yeah.
when they come around me, they just thinking about buying something. I'm like, no, we ain't buying nothing.
Yeah.
I need some money for this. No, you don't need no money for that. How you doing, Miss Lisa J?
Hello.
Good evening. How
Hello.
you doing? Sorry about last week. We missed last week, and I was gonna do some. I couldn't pull up my video, man, because I want to do what I want to talk, and I want us to do that, get like a video and be able to pull it up and show. But I want to talk about all the money that's made after the crashes. It's like the
Oh
Great
yeah.
Depression, like how much money was made after the Great Depression. '08. All these crashes that people that got money or wealthy or rich love because they're like, okay, when this stuff hit the bottom, we finna buy it all up. People gonna sell. They crave. They running scared. This and that, and the wealthy feed off that.
Mm-hmm.
And so what how they always say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
Yep.
I'm coming up with a segment called the poor get richer. And it's all about us changing our mindset because that's the only difference between us getting more, what I'm saying, getting more astute with our finances because we're scared of the things we don't need to be scared of and we love the things that keep us impoverished. It's a
Yeah.
crazy
I
dynamic.
mean, and that's just because there's nobody to say it, nobody who's done it before. And we
Mhm.
talked about this plenty of times. There's nobody around us that said, "Hey, get you some stocks or start investing in the stock market." Like I couldn't tell you anything about the stock market before I graduated high school, and we were in college together, and we was talking
Yeah,
about all this stuff.
yeah,
Like nobody told us this stuff, and now we changing the game, and people are looking at us like, "Hey, what are they doing different?" Like, "Hey, we tried to tell y'all years ago.
yeah, yeah.
We're living proof of what we've been talking about." And then
Mhm.
people are, "Oh, y'all think y'all better than us?" Like, no, we don't. We still live in the same areas, still visit the same neighborhoods. It's not everything we better than y'all. We just doing something different. And
Yeah,
now y'all want to look at us like we uppity or something, and we not. We just trying to help y'all get, live better and do better.
yeah.
But some of them with it and some of them ain't. You already know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's-
and that's why you say about showing showing and proving that this is, and that's why I'm really, man, I'm just so excited right now. So many things going on. I was talking to my mom because she all she know me from is an entrepreneur. I'm like,
Mhm.
man, Mom, I see why so many people become millionaires after their 40s because it's like stuff start really clicking, especially when you come the way we come because we didn't have no elder men or women that was on
Mhm.
this type of level from our
Mhm.
background. So of course it's gonna take us 20s and 30s trying to figure it out, jobs,
Yep.
this and that, starting a business, following. We had to go through all that because we don't know. We kind of we're just trying to figure it out.
Yep.
And I said, man, I hate that all I knew was business and entrepreneurship, which I'm cool with. I'm great. I'm great. I love that drive in me, but I wish I would have had that investor in me leading first. And then, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then become the entrepreneur or become this and that because just the way I done switched it to an investor first and then I do my entrepreneurship has changed the game for me. Like I'm seeing the results like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I invest first, everything that comes in a piece goes straight to the market, a piece goes to this, and then after that, I figure out, okay, like I just got some changing the narrative shirts. That's why I was running late for tonight. I had to go drop off shirts, and I got some changing narrative hat. Now all my entrepreneur stuff and my business stuff comes secondary once I take care of the
Mhm.
foundation of the investing and
Mhm.
what went up today, what went down today, what do I need to buy on, what do I need to sell. I do all that first, and then after that I get into, okay, let me worry about my book, let me worry about this brand, let me worry about that after the fact. And I think that's the game changer for me, man. And I'm on a real mission to become one of those millionaires where we to become a millionaire from where we from, doing what we doing, but really changing the game on teaching these youth and adults too, because I got some adults that say they want to get into it. I got people opening up accounts and stuff, but you know how that go. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. They'll
But
start, but it won't
yeah,
keep it
but
going.
but but just to me, it's a win just starting to have the conversation. It's for
Yeah.
people that never even thought about stuff like that. Even if you just open up an account, even if it's another month before you deposit something into it, I
Mm-hmm.
got the wheel. I got to turn it in your brain. You're thinking about it, and that's all you can ask for. You got to kind of let people. Everybody gonna come on their pace. You see me. I've been knowing how serious it is for years, and I'm still took me years to get real serious about it because it's just not part of our fabric. So I understand that, man, and that's why I love doing the show, and it keeps me on guard for the week. Oh, okay, what am I doing personally? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because one thing about this type, what we're doing, it makes me be for real in it because I can't come to talk about stocks every day if I'm doing what I was doing years ago
Right.
and selling or I ain't even got no stock, I ain't even got no portfolio right now, but I'm over saying it's the right thing to do. We need to do it, but I ain't
Yeah.
doing it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
so what we doing now is holding my feet to the fire on this do you gotta do it, you gotta show up. You know what I'm saying? So I love that aspect of it of uh of just the mindset that is helping me really push myself to the next level, man. So over the last few years, what would you say? I don't know. Maybe you could say your favorite stock or your best performing stock, or just something or a stock that you just like because of the volatility, or a stock you stay away from the volatility. Just when it comes to a best performing stock or a stock that you kind of just like love the most or whatever, what stock would that be? Or is it any stock, or you don't get into it like that?
Yeah, I try not to get into it like that. I don't want the emotions into it because that's that's not good for business when it comes to trading. Being emotional about a stock. But I was thinking about that question, and there's a few stocks, man, that I've seen like just since I've started that have just been gigantic, and I was just a knucklehead and either got off of it or didn't get it. And that's McDonald's, man. When I was first had McDonald's was like $50 a share, $40-$50 a share. It's over 300 now, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it's over
Uh,
three now.
Facebook, this was when it
uh,
was still Facebook. I had Facebook at like $45 a share. It's over $400 a share now. Tesla, I had Tesla when Tesla was like 180 before the split twice. So it was 180 and then it split twice.
Dang.
And I was back up to 200 something a share. So those have been like the big ones that I really missed out on. That I had too, but I had them and then still missed out on. But and then another one of my favorites right now though is Google. I've been riding Google for a minute. Google and Amazon, like after they split, those have just been lovely. All right, Lisa, I see you.
Okay, yeah, I see you with that. Yeah, that man, my crypto portfolio is going crazy today with that. I think Shiba and Dogecoin been man, both of them was like over 15. No, one was over 15% up for the day, and one was like 9-10%. I think Shiba was up 10% and the Dogecoin.
Now I
And
gotta look at my crypto.
Bitcoin been doing man, I was in Bitcoin. Okay, let me tell this story. Yeah, Apple doing good too.
Oh yeah, Apple too.
I'm still sick right now because in 2000, I think I said this on here, the 2010, my guy in Atlanta, he was telling me, grab some Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin was like, man, I don't even know if it was a few dollars, bro. Like, I don't even know. You know what
Dang.
I'm saying? He was just like, man, I'd have put $100 into that then. I've been a millionaire off $100 or something like back then. Like, so that's why I know my style of I just like to be in certain things
Mm-hmm.
regardless. And I know some people got to get real more technical than me. I don't really get really deep technical with it. I understand. I could take wins and losses, so I like to be in it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
like Bitcoin, I hate that I got. I think when I first started getting back into Bitcoin, it was around 14,000, and I cashed out when it hit like 20,000, thinking that was the top. I
Yeah.
thought that was at the top.
Woo.
say so. Then once I cashed out the 20,000, about 30,000, I started back jumping in. It shot up to like 45. Cash back out. I'm thinking that's the top again. So now I think my average now is I'm around 50 something, man. So I just wish I would have been holding, and that's why now I don't. When you was asking me about the truck, like, nah, man, I shave a little bit, but I stay in, man, because I learned my lesson about the cash it out. You want to shave because you're already up once you shave a little bit, but if you stay in, if I'd have wrote it from that 14 to that 70, Shit, I'll be over here moonwalking like Lisa doing right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at mine. My Bitcoin's up 82% since I had it. My average is 39,000. That's where I
Oh yeah, you guys say you got it in. Yeah,
been getting in.
you got it in.
The cheapest I got in when it was 18.
Ooh, see, that's when I was selling. Well, right around 20
18,
when I started
19,
selling because
20.
I don't know why I thought when I went from 14 to 20, I thought that was it, man. I thought I had hit the mountaintop.
Well,
Like,
because it went up and then it dropped down, and
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah,
was just doing that for so long. Like it didn't have that it didn't bust through that cap yet. It was just at that cap, and it just kept hitting that ceiling and bouncing back down.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Hitting that resistance and going
yep,
back down to the support. Yeah, and you did it right, Lisa. And that's why, that's a strategy of mine now. Like I was telling family, I shaved a little bit because he was messing with me about my Trump stocks, and I would tell him I got in at 12 and it's at 45. I don't know where it's at. I think it was at 45 last time I looked at it today. And I think since I've been in the series, that's definitely my best performance. And I think that's maybe just the time of just, some things you just jump in and they're right. It wasn't really no deep tech, I didn't get into no deep checking the earnings of the numbers. I just like,
yeah,
okay, I think if he win, that's gonna shoot up, just like I did with a lot of the crypto too, because I know, he's a crypto. I know Miss Harris. I know she more like Nvidia. These are things I think gonna shoot up anyway. But if she was to win, I know Nvidia, Microsoft, stocks like that would shoot up under her. And I mean, all of these stocks I think are gonna do good no matter what. But it's certain stocks that's gonna shoot up under certain presidency because just the
yep,
way they operate. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
It just comes naturally.
Just the policies and different stuff. It's at the Trump stock was at 47 a day.
47. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think when I shaved, when I shaved a little bit, it was at 43 or something. But like I said, I got my average is at 12, I think 1290 something.
That's a good win.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's and then like I say, then I looked up today and just because I didn't do nothing today. I just what I'm saying? I didn't even buy no stock. I ain't do nothing. I checked it out earlier and I was gonna do a little trading this week, but when I seen how them premiums are for the option, it was like, oh, and that's what I learned last night. Like, yeah, the premiums go up because this is like the Super Bowl week. And see, and this is the power I was trying to tell the guy earlier, right? In this account right here. It just went up 3% today, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a $500 day for nothing. I ain't do nothing. I ain't trade. I ain't buy nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just by that money sitting in there, and that's the power of how it grows once you keep dumping in there and you keep. And of course, on down days, you're gonna have you may have some numbers that look crazy too. But I think the way I got my portfolio the diversity of my portfolio. My down days don't be so down because I have stocks that kind of go.
Yep.
They seem like they go together when they're going up, but when
Mm-hmm.
some going down, I got other ones that's going up that kind of balance it out. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So,
Yep.
and I'm learning about the strategy of that too, of the parallel companies. Like some companies go up together, some companies go
Yeah.
down, some companies go up and down at different times.
Yep.
So I didn't know nothing about none of that stuff. So I'm learning how to coordinate a lot of the stocks that I got, how they go together or if they don't go together. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. I feel you.
At least to be honest, yeah, that's what I always said. That's the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's the terminology I heard too. I didn't know nothing about. I mean, I heard of earnings before, but I didn't know this was Super Bowl week for stocks. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I'm looking at the premiums. They be like, oh yeah, it's going. You got to pay. You got to pay a pretty price. And I think what company did I know 3M. I didn't even know nothing about 3M, but then I was like, that's in all your stores. When you go to HEB, I guess all the like the tape. I didn't know nothing about that,
Yeah.
So
That was another good one.
yeah. So I've been doing good on that one. Like, I mean, they all been doing pretty good. I'm trying to think which one been doing the worst. I don't. It's something that's flat, but to me that ain't bad. I haven't had any that's just diving. That's just going all the way down out of there. I haven't experienced that yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Tesla went down. Uber went. Tesla went down. Shit. It
A
went
little
from
bit.
212 to 260. Man, the other like what's today? Monday. I think that was like Wednesday or Thursday. Literally, soon the market closed, it shot from 212 to 250. Like, did you see? That's what I'm gonna ask you about too. Well, and see what you think about that because I don't know because I think when you trade, you have to be disciplined anyway. So you can't be trading in the market all day anyway. But did you see
Hmm.
that they was proposing whoever's over all that about 22 hours trading days? Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
That's
they was
crazy.
talking about from I think from 1 o'clock in the morning to no, yeah, 1 o'clock in the morning to 11 at night. It would be 22-hour days where you can trade. The market would be open instead of close, from 8:30 to 5:30. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I mean, it'd probably be more money for the market, but I think that'll be more gambling because you gotta, no matter what time it is, you can't just be in and out. But I don't know. What do you think? Would a longer trade day was that be good or bad? What's your
I mean, in actuality, the trading day is just what it is. Like it's already long, just depending on the markets you trade. So the 8 to 5:30 or whatever is just us trading the like the Nasdaq and the American markets. That's not us trading the London market. That's not us trading the Taiwan market, the Japanese, the European markets, the German markets. Like there's so many other stock exchanges out there. It's just that time period that we're using is the American Stock Exchange. So if you want to get up at 3 in the morning, I guarantee you one of those stock exchanges is already open and you can be trading on that. Yeah, it might be foreign stocks that you're trading at that point, but you can still trade it, and that's really the only difference. So if you're trading, I don't know, McDonald's for instance, right? You can trade McDonald's on the European market because why? There's McDonald's in Europe, so they is listed on their stock exchange as well. It's the same thing. It's just different places. And the with that too, the tickers will be a little bit different. So let's say McDonald's, here is MCD. So it might be JMCD in Japan or EMCD in like Europe or something like that. So, but it's the same thing. It's still McDonald's. It's just under a different ticker and you're trading on a different platform. That's it.
Yeah, I never. Have you did that? Have you got into other markets? I think one of the stocks I got is something to do with the other market, but I never dabbed into the other markets. Have you dabbed into any other market?
Not really. I mean, I do own some stocks that are foreign companies. For instance, Sony. That's one, and that's basically the only one that I've used. But there's several different ones. But no, I haven't really dove into it like
That's
that. If luckily for me, I'll travel a lot. You know that. So um, the best time for me is when I'm um, behind, or no, I'm behind the US time zone. So basically my time, so it's 6 in the morning for me, but it's no, take that back. I'm ahead of the US time zone. So Europe, Japan, all that stuff. So when I'm up and I can study for 2 hours before the market opens in the States. So now, instead of getting up at 4 in the morning, I can get up at 6 or 8 or whatever and still have that 2 hours, whatever, before the US market's open. And then I can study and okay, what's happening, what's the news that's coming out, because everybody talks about the news that's coming out, but that's when people are asleep. Nobody's getting up at 3 and 4 in the morning to look at the news to get the stock information before the stock exchange opens. But that's what I was doing when I was overseas, and that gave me an advantage. That helped a whole lot because now I'm like, okay, boom, these Tesla's planning to release the new car this week. Okay, their stock price is probably gonna go up. Let me go ahead and get some of that. Oh, boom, they reporting a loss this week. Let me go ahead and try to get out of that if I'm in it, or I'll play the downside of it and bet for it to go down and do it like that. So I was making money all types of ways. If you like the getting up early and getting that knowledge before everybody else does is a real game changer, man. Real game changer because you have your whole day planned, but you had hours to game plan for it, and you didn't get up at the butt crack of dawn, trying to with sleep in your eyes, trying to read all this stuff. It was your normal day. Normally when you get up and you focus and you had that time, and now you're ahead of the game, and it changes things for real.
Yeah, nah, they getting up early and getting ahead of it. That's why I'll be hating because I cook every day, so I'll be trying to get up earlier so I can take care of my market stuff. And I
Hmm.
noticed that it's cool to do it more at night too. So I started trying to look at the charts and going through everything at night. So, and man, I missed a play like about a week or two ago. I didn't know, and this is the me being an infant in this game. I didn't know like because I thought when the market closed, you can't do nothing, but you can go ahead and set it and then it'll kick in once the
Yep.
market opens. So you can already be in it. Or you know what
Yep.
I'm saying? I didn't know that.
Yep.
So I was waiting on the market to open for me to jump in something. But I got the cooking and everything. And I looked up, it had already made the move that I thought it was gonna make, but I was already 30 minutes late because I should have just set it. So when the market opened, it would have already triggered me in.
Yep.
So, stuff like that. So man, I was like, dang. At least I was right though. So it let me
Yeah.
know that I'm learning and I see what I see. But I just
Yeah.
like, dang. Then I was, why they were like, yeah, you can get in the market, but when it's closed, just set your play and then it'll trigger it off.
Yep.
So it just like I say, it's forever learning, especially when you want to do it at the level I want to do it at. Like I'm not just doing this just to do something, just to have a little retirement money. Like
Yeah.
I'm doing it for the big stakes.
Yeah. This the plan right here. What?
Yeah, yeah. I'm going in it, man. I was watching Wall Street Trapper earlier. Uh, show because he showed a lot of his gains and his losses. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But I think he up like 4 million for the year, but today's gain was like 200,000. And yeah, I know he option trade,
Yeah.
and I think he swing trade or swings stocks. I don't know. I don't know exactly his playbook, but I know option is a part of his playbook.
Yeah. That's the big part of his options.
Options. And I'm just saying, man, I'm like, why won't we run to a skill set like this, man? Like coming from the world we come from, if you can learn that and you can see that type of money, like we don't know nobody. And there's places in America where people make that, a year or whatever. And
Hmm.
I don't know nobody personally that make that a year outside of being an entrepreneur or something like, but it
Yep.
just had a job or something. And
No.
it's like we will break our necks at jobs we hate just because we comfortable instead of getting into a skill. Because I mean, I'm one of those people I'm talking about because I was intimidated. I was looking at these charts and I was looking at this. I'm like, man, this stuff is crazy. It's dumb. What do you know?
Yeah.
But I put my life on the line in the streets. I could have did 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll put our life on the line and we'll do all kind of crazy stuff, but just sitting down and really becoming disciplined to learn a skill, a trade, or
Hmm.
or reforming your mindset to be like, you know what, with this money that I got coming in, I don't care if it's $200 a week. I'm gonna operate different with this $200 a week. That
Yep.
right there, will change your life. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
you can make $2,000 a month, and somebody can be making $20,000 a month. If you invest and do right with that $2,000 a month, you can over time beat that person that's making way more than you if they're not doing the right things with their money. And,
Yep.
and, that, and that lets you know that's the power of investing. That's the power of being financial literate. And that's the power of just doing better things with our money. It's not that we always say we need to make more money. And of course, we all want to make more money. But what are we doing with the money that we already making? You know, and I definitely I want to I'm putting something together. I've been working on it for like the last year or two. I was thinking about you. I was like, man, I'm gonna bring Kinfolk in on this because I think as far as like the teacher part of you see, I think you're definitely a better teacher than me. Like when I talk, I just talk from the heart. You sound more like the teacher that really can break it down. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to give it to you the way I see it. Just off, it might be a little rough. It might not be all the way even out.
Yeah.
But what I'm doing on that wealth is gangster. When I say fast food to wealth, I want to do that with like a collaboration with you. And I don't know if it's gonna be a class. I don't know if it could be a book. I just want to really break down the science on. Let's just break it down on somebody with a job on industrial making $500 a week. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Whatever you and how you can still change your life if you put a 20-year plan together with that job. We're not telling you got to be the smartest person in the stock market. We're not telling you need to be the
Nope.
biggest entrepreneur in the world. We're talking about if you stay at that job you could change your whole family trajectory just by operating different with that check. So I
Yep.
really want to break that down in the simplest form because I think when we talk, get to talking about, oh man, my mentor made $500,000, and people get lost and scared by those numbers instead of realizing that. But he started off with a couple $100 in his portfolio, like literally, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
Like, so we see the big numbers now because you didn't see, like you said, the years of. I'm gonna keep dumping this in there. I was watching a guy today. He's for the last 600 trade days. He's doing $20 a day in QQQ, and he was just showing how he's mad because he wasn't putting $40 or $50 a day into it,
Mm-hmm.
because he's like looking at the returns. I think he's up for the last. I think he was up like 34% for those last 2 years, and it's like, but we'll put money in the bank. We'll put money in this. We'll shop for Christmas, and we'll do all this. And I'm not mad at none of that stuff. Like, I hate when people think like, well, you have to live a super frugal life, and you can't spend $1, and you can't have a Starbucks tea or
Yeah.
no. It's about let's zone out for 6 months. Let's zone out for a year. Let's zone out for 2 years, and then we'll set ourselves. In 2 years of the grind that I'm on right now, you could be able to buy and afford anything you want to do for the rest of your life, man. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like
Yep.
if you take out a couple years of your life to really go all in and go
Mm-hmm.
without whatever you think you need. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people will find out that I don't even need that no more. If you really focus for 2 years, a lot of that stuff you wouldn't even go back to
Yep.
after the you be like, man,
Yep.
I'm not doing that. That was dumb. I was out of control. I was stupid. I was throwing away money.
Yep.
So that's why I say it's about the mindset. So what do you think about that though? Us putting together something. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's a curriculum. I don't know if it's a book presentation, whatever. Just really want to break down the science of you could be at your everyday job and just with a different mindset and what you allocate your funds to could change your life.
Yeah, I'm down with that for sure. I mean, that's my story.
Yeah,
That's how it happened.
yeah, for real. Just
Uh,
just redirecting the money that was already coming in. That's
yeah.
it.
I
Yeah,
mean, before I came to the military, I was working at jail wing in Temple, and I wasn't even making that much money.
yeah, yeah,
But I left there after what, like a year and a half, and I had 10 grand,
yeah,
you know, and I was like, dang, this is crazy,
yeah.
the
You know what I'm
most money I
saying?
ever seen in my life right there,
Yeah. And,
But
and it's
yeah,
crazy that we don't really think about that because we look at it the bigger picture of life. But if you just sitting on 10 grand, just and saving that up, that puts you in a what 10, 15, 20% of Americans, because most people don't even have $1,000 of emergency funds. You know what I'm saying? Like
yep,
we just don't know. We live paycheck to paycheck, and we just get by how we get by, or we'll borrow something, or we'll do this and we'll do that. So we don't understand the powers in our hands. And I was talking to my guy because I was reading this book called uh, Financial Financial Cancer by Jake Jacobs. I forgot his last name, but he was just talking about the how he related the sickness and death, because a lot of, especially black men, we die younger than most people, and
hmm
it died from heart attacks, we die from stress, all the things, and he was relating how it goes back to finances.
oh yeah,
We're stressing about jobs, we're stressing about this, and if you do that for 20, 30, 40 years of your life, by the time you hit 40, 50, man, you start running that body down to the ground, because you stressed out. And we grow up talking about, well, money ain't everything and this and that, and I think that's a way for the poor people or impoverished people to really make themselves feel okay with being in
hmm
that situation. Because
hmm
we look at people with money and act like, well, they did it in a devilish way, or they did this, or they had, you know what I'm saying? They robbed somebody, or they scammed somebody. We look at anybody with any kind of money or anybody around us that's doing better. We always put something negative to
yep,
it because it makes us feel comfortable and staying at the bottom, and it makes you be like, no, I'm not a devil like that. That's why I'm broke. No, you just refuse to learn skill sets. You refuse to be disciplined with your money. You refuse to change your mindset. That's why you broke. It ain't about everybody being a devil because they got some money or they wrong or something like that. You know what I'm
yep,
saying?
yep, 100%. And the thing about you said about the people, seeing all these big money that people are making and thinking, it's crazy. Like I used to think that. Now I don't think it's crazy anymore. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I know this sounds weird, but when somebody say, I got $500,000, I'm like, so that's
yeah.
that's
For real.
not
Nah,
that's
for
not a
real.
lot of money to me. Like you
No,
can't, people think like $1 million, for instance. People think that's life changing money. I'm like, that's not life changing money for me. Like
nah,
I wouldn't do anything different. If I won the lottery today, I would go to work tomorrow with $1 million. It takes something substantial.
yeah. I always said I said if I had $1 million a day by next week, I'll be broke because all that $1 million would be just investing tools for me. I mean, I wouldn't be out there partying and think I made it or nothing.
Nope.
That million is gonna get invested and try to turn that into about 5 to 10 million. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like
Yep.
so like you saying, yeah, my life wouldn't change if I had $1 million today. That wouldn't change because my portfolio would change though. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I have some
Yeah.
things looking a lot better in that thing, but like
Yeah. But
thinking like I made
it's
it to the
like
mountaintop or something. Nah.
people think like $1 million is a thing. Like, okay, if I had $1 million, I could quit my job and live off the interest. Like, you can't. That's that's not a thing anymore. Like, unless I mean, there's some accounts where you probably could right now. They still got some high interest accounts, but for the most part, you can't.
Yeah.
You know, actually, for those high interest accounts are online. Most of them, like 99% of them, are online, and people are already scared of something that they can't walk into, a bank that they can't walk into and get their money out, so they wouldn't even do that.
Yeah.
So
But
you getting
but
point
the ones online gonna give you the highest rate because they don't have the overhead and all that stuff as
exactly,
the regular banks. But
exactly.
then, like you said, people scared because you're not a regular bank. So
Yep.
you so
So they gonna put it in their bank and get 0.05% interest off that $1 million. So they're gonna be getting $50 a year, something crazy, and talking about they're gonna live off the interest. Like, nah, that's not. You can't do it. But that's what people think. People
yeah,
look
nah,
at
you
that
can't,
$1 million as the goal, and that's like, think
nah.
about it. Think about it, man. You get $1 million. You're a millionaire. You spend $1, you're not a millionaire no
It's
more.
already gone. Yeah.
$1, like,
And that better be after taxes because if it's before taxes, you show
yep.
you down to about 600,000 real quick.
That's something that'll be somebody else because they'll
Yeah,
spend 500,000-600,000 off top,
yeah,
and then when the
yeah,
tax man come, they be like, "What? Like I got to pay taxes?" Like, yeah, it ain't that same tax bracket you was in either. It goes up, so yeah, it gets crazy, man.
yeah. I got some VT. I got some VTI, VOO. Man, I'm heavy into Vanguard. I think VWO. Like it's about 5 or 6 different Vanguards I'm in. And like I said, I like that's just me just being extra because I don't even know if I
Yep,
should be in all the Vanguards like that. I'm just extra with it.
they're probably overlapping.
Huh?
Some of them probably overlapping.
Yeah, that's what I say. And see, that's the beautiful part about me because I know I'm all in, but I know I'm a baby in it, so I got a lot to learn. So I the way I invest, I look like I'm a seasoned veteran because I don't have no fear
Yeah,
and I dump money in. So I'm a veteran when it comes to that, but when it comes to like the real breaking down part, I got a long way to go. But I'm cool with that. I'm cool
yeah.
with knowing okay, I'm all in, but I still got a lot to learn
Mm-hmm.
while being all in. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I mean, I'm trying to think about the name of a book. It was that was one of the things that broke my fear of stocks. I can't remember the name, but what it was about some monkeys. They had some monkeys that
Mm-hmm.
would just throw darts at stocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whatever the dart landed on, they would buy that stock. And they show over time the monkeys the stocks that was just bought because of what the monkeys landed on in a hedge a fund hedge company were pretty much the same. What it's
Mm-hmm.
basically telling you is if you're in the market over time, you're going to win. No, you'll
Yep.
be okay. Not so let me just breaking it down. Like okay, these guys over here real students of the game, technicals, learning it, this and that. These monkeys just throwing, they don't know what's what, you know
Yep.
what I'm saying? But over time, they was pretty much the same because what it's saying is both of them are in the market. Both of them have money in the market. Both of them are putting money in diverse, having a diverse portfolio. And when I really broke that down, I'm like, man, that's powerful. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I start off with I know like the spy and all that the American economy. Like
Yeah.
if you scared of those, then you just thinking America just gonna crumble, and if it crumbles, we in trouble anyway. We got bigger problems if that
Yep.
crumbles like that.
Yep. For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what really broke my fear though. When I see that book, and I'm gonna have to research that book and come up with the name. But it was just talking about it was just showing if you're in even if you're making bad decisions, a decision that's not so good, and you go into the mall and spending, you still winning with that decision in the market that's not so good.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, and that's what we don't get. We worried about the crashes and this and that. Our life is the crash. Everything that we wake up and go give our money to every day, that's the economy crash right there every day. So
Yeah.
why you worried about the stocks crashing when you crash every day when you wake up and go to that corner store, when you wake up and go out to eat, you crash a lot, So just balance it out. Like just
And
balance
see,
it
they
out.
don't even realize they the ones fueling the economy.
Yeah.
They fueling making your own money. You
Yeah.
go into the convenience store buying Doritos or whatever. Why don't you invest in Fritos? Why don't you invest in the Dorito company? Why don't you invest in Monster? Why don't you invest in Red Bull? All this stuff that you
Yeah.
buying, you could be having stocks in, and then when you go buy it, you feel a little bit better about
A
yourself.
little bit better, man.
Like, hey, I'm giving myself a penny or two off
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Like it's just different mindset now. Like, because now it's like I look for the things that I own. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't go in and buying a whole bunch of Pepsi because I own a decent amount of Coke.
Yeah.
So I look for Coke products and stuff like that. So it's like I look for what I own now. So it changes you. It changes not just your lifestyle, but it changes your decision making as
Yeah,
well.
everything you do.
So
Yeah.
yep.
How you operate, and that's what I always lead with. So where you spend the most money at, that should be the first share. Is to me, that's the most simplest way to get somebody started. Wherever you
Yep.
spend the most money at, start there, and then you can get into all the other stuff later, man. And then, like I say, it's companies that no company is guaranteed to be here forever, but it's certain companies we know gonna be around at least for a long time, if it's not forever. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Long enough for me to make some money and sell.
Yeah,
That's all I need.
especially if you're scared, you need to be with more of those blue chip companies because the
Mm-hmm.
other ones are more volatile. They can shoot up or they can crash down too. But
Yep.
if you're more scared, start off with blue chips, you'll be a lot better. It's not going to be as volatile, so you're not going to see the shoots up, but
Yep.
you're
Yep.
not going to see the shoot down either. You're going to kind
Yep.
of stay kind of steady,
Yep.
and So
Yep.
if that's you, I like a mixture of that. I like that slow and
Yep.
steady for sure, but I like something that might just take off tonight,
Yep.
for no reason at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me, So, but you gotta know you, and that's what we talked about earlier. But every investor and everybody in this game got to know what works for you and do what works for you. Like I see people that's doing this. I can't run their race. I got to stay in my lane and kind of figure out what works for me. Because if I try to do everything that everybody else doing, I might be able to take a little twist of what you do. But if I
Yep.
just try to do exactly what everybody else doing, it might not work for me the same
Yep.
way. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So you just have to take little bits of game and kind of like conform it to what works for you and your style, man.
Yep.
So yeah, we all so it's big earnings week, so it should be a lot of different interesting news this week.
Yeah, a lot of stocks gonna be jumping around. That's for sure.
Yeah, they're gonna be jumping, and that's why I say, and that's why them premiums. If you're gonna be option trading, you got to pay basically double to triple of what you would normally pay this week, and that's why I'm not doing no option trading. I'm not doing nothing. I don't even know if I'm gonna buy anything this week. I think what I've been doing, like today, what I dedicate to the market, I just put it in there in my buying power. It's just sitting there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and that's one thing I learned too. Sometimes it's power and not buying nothing. It's
Yep.
just build up your buying power too and get ready for it. Put
Yep.
yourself in position for when it do bounce back or when it do correct or when it do these things. Be ready for it too. Because if you just buying everything and some crash or some correct and you ain't got no money to jump in at the right levels,
Yep.
so, and that's one thing I learned too, buying at certain levels. And that's, though that level game changed the way I see it too, because now I understand resistance support. When it break through resistance, now the resistance is support, and like just the way it climbs and go down, man. It's just a lot of things to it, man. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm glad we back. We missed a week last week, and like I said, I was gonna try to come on, but I gotta kind of like I got so much going on, but not so much going on because I really cut off a lot of things. But the things I got going on, I'm really in right now. So
Yeah.
right now, all I do, and I think I'm gonna start a channel like this. All I do is cook and trade. Those are two things I do right now. I cook 7 days a week, 5 days a week for job sites, and then on the weekend we got a set up. So 7 days a week I'm cooking, and I'm in the market 4 or 5 days. Even if I'm not trading today, I'm in there studying, I'm in there looking, I'm in there learning. So even if I'm not actually doing no transactions, I'm in there. So that's my life, man. Cooking and trade, man. That's all I do now. Who would have thunk it 10
Yeah, I
years
know,
ago?
right?
Hey man, but yeah, we did another week, man. As we end, man. Anything you want to say about what to look for this week? What just anything anything you want to end the show with?
Not really. I mean, like I said before, I look for when it's earnings. I look for companies that do their releases before the market opens. So those are the ones that I will be looking at if I'm looking at trading this week. I don't really have anything trading this week because I got to get ready to. I'm getting ready to go somewhere on a trip. So
Okay.
next week I'll probably be in a different location, but I'm still gonna try to get it depending on what our schedule's looking like. So I'll be in a different time zone and all types of stuff. So yeah,
So,
we'll see about that. But
okay.
other than that, nope. Just keep trading, man.
Just keep
Keep putting
trading,
money in
man.
the market. Keep building.
Yeah, and just get started, man. And whatever that is, maybe you don't even want to put no money in the market yet. Set up your account and just start watching. Like
Look,
just get involved some kind of way.
anybody who don't have an account right now, contact me. I'll get you your first stock. We're gonna hook you up with Robinhood, get you your first stock. You ain't gotta pay nothing. No money out your pocket at all. Get your first stock and then you can go from there.
Yeah, I heard it. See, and that's something, that's something we can start adding to the show, man. So I like that. So yeah, let's figure out how to start getting people involved. Like I say, you take your first step and then you
Yep.
go from there. My nephew took his first step, so he's gonna be getting his first piece of a Nike stock. He got Nikes on. He's not getting paid no more cash. We buying stocks. He'll thank me in 15 years. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He's 15, hey, 25, 30. We'll talk about it then. So now I'm just grooming him. So I like that idea. So we'll come up with more different things like that. Just because we want you to get involved and we don't want you to be scared, but we want you to take on a different mindset because that's the only way you're gonna get to the next level, man. So I appreciate everybody tapping in or that's gonna tap in on the replay, like, subscribe, share the channel. And we showing up, man. We missed 1 week last week, but we're gonna keep trying to go. Family will let me know how he doing for next Monday. If not, I'll try to prepare some videos or something. Try to keep it going. So you gonna be you leaving the States?
Yeah.
Look at it. Say, man, I'm gonna get there one day, man. I'm gonna get there one day, baby. You know what I'm saying? Nah,
Yeah.
that's what's up, though, man. You keep doing your thing, man. Keep seeing the world and enjoying those experiences, man. So I'll be in contact. There was another episode. What this Gangster the Financial Talk. Me and my family, Tremaine Kelly, and we'll be back next week. Peace.